It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got a couple teams searching for their first Super Bowl. It's the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And it's coming up next.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Again, everybody, alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 7th-year man out of Cal, the top pick back in 2016, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 50, it's gone. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Here's Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
I like the screen one call here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Back to the running game with Swift. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
If you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Goff. He's got this, complete to Williams. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Goff. He'll get this off to Swift. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. Caught on a slant. Touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Lions will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter. And they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second in a couple.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. That one a first down pickup of 8. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing is Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
Let's go.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Veteran Jared Goff back out with his Lions offense.
The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass. Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart that way, feeling so accurate, so confident going downfield, and then able to culminate by putting it in the end zone, oh, yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
Now he'll try to carry that over to this drive. On 1st and 10, Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 14 yards that time for number 14.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Goff. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at their 48-yard line.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Goff now looking to throw.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Now a 1st down throw. Goff finding Williams once more. Complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This duo locked in. 14 yards there and a 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jared Goff connecting with DJ Chark. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored, The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Inaugural now out of his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A first down throw for Cousins.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
So it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Cousins.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
This is fielded at the 27. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
"19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Lions. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
Inaugural now from his end zone.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Yeah, he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Aiden Hutchinson
able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
standing just outside his own goal line. It's fielded at the 45. Oh, look at the juke. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Goff a handoff here to Swift. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 2nd and 9, Goff on the slant. This is Chark. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw is Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve. Check down the throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try to find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The 17-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Goff over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
At the 6-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter play with the score.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Lions have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that, because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're
looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Lions on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Lions have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it is 28-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On second and very short, Cousins looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff to Swift.
And room there to work it inside the 25. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.